Welcome back to Silverstone, everybody. We have got cars back on the grid ahead of a restarted race for the Mini Miglia Championship. Now, the cars released onto a green flag lap. The time has started to tick down, though, so the race, I think, may have already started. Now, you'll notice the pit wall there with a couple of little scrapes down the side of it. Well, little scrape, not really the best way to describe the reason for our second red flag of the day. Here is, if you're just joining us, the reason that we're under red flag conditions. We had only done just under a lap of racing when it all went wrong coming out of the final turn, and this is what happened. Look at the leaders. They all come out wide onto this exit curb. Look at the amount of spray on the curb as they run wide behind. Colin Peacock had a big spin, miraculously wasn't collected by anybody else, but unfortunately behind, one driver did lose control heavily into the wall, and that was the reason for the red flag. Mark Sims, who'd started 12th, dropped down the order a little bit on the opening lap, got out onto that curb, and around he went. But now the conditions looking slightly better. It's still very wet, don't get me wrong, but the sun now starting to break through the clouds. It's a crystal clear sky above us all of a sudden. That rain shower passing through. It should now remain dry, hopefully, for the rest of the day. And with the sun out, Richard, hopefully the track conditions will improve even over the course of this 20-minute race. I
hope so. I've got to go off one of my random tangents. You know, we talk about the scuff marks on the pit wall.
Yes.
They used to, as you can imagine, we used to get quite a lot of those at Rockingham.
Yes.
A wall around the outside. And a guy used to photograph the scuffs and sell them as abstract art.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really
That's
weird. And charge a lot of money for them.
Oh, did he?
You know, Mark Proctor did that one. Where's Mark Proctor's royalty? Anyway, it's very tenuous linked to what we're talking about.
No,
so take pictures of the scuff marks and sell it as art.
That's interesting. That's interesting. There are a couple of NASCAR tracks in America, where one in particular, Darlington, where they have to repaint the wall after every race because so many people scrape up against the wall, and the quick line is up against the wall at that particular track. I won't bore you with a NASCAR story, but yes, it's Silverstone slightly less common maybe to see people getting into that wall. 2 in a day is definitely more than I've seen before, but it's just a sign of the conditions, both of them sort of caused by the slippery conditions through Club Corner. But look here, it's no, I'd say that's a dry line already starting to emerge, so it'll be an interesting situation this. Whether the Miglia drivers had gone out on slicks or not, I don't know. They do have the option of a slick racing tyre or a wet tyre. But actually, at first we were saying, well, they need to be on the wets. Maybe now, if you're on the wet tyres, by the end of this now seemingly shortened race, you're going to start running out of grip, surely.
You would think so. It's going to be a tricky race again, but again, we've got quality drivers in here, right the way down the order, and it should be an absolute stomper once again. These guys got one race tomorrow?
Yes, I believe so.
They've had 2 today, and
yes,
great that they're catching up. How does it work with the Cadwell meeting, a BRSCC one?
Oh, now you're asking.
I wonder where the money gets juggled on that.
28th of April. No, I don't believe that would have been a Cadwell meeting. I don't think so. Sorry, BRSCC meeting at Cadwell. You know what I meant. Yes, it was definitely a Cadwell meeting. It was just the second race that the Sunday race that didn't happen. So, and I'll be honest with you, I can't remember why, whether it was weather or delays that caused that, or maybe a bit of both. But anyway, they got it in early on this morning.
This year.
Yes, we've had a bit of rain in 2024, haven't we? It's definitely been a year for the rainmeisters, hasn't it? Those who are good in the wet conditions have generally come out of 2024 pretty well. And again, some slick conditions for the drivers to contend with here. The race, as I said, has officially started. The time has started to tick down. So by the time they're all gridded up, it's going to be a 16-minute race by the looks of it. The restarted race then, this penultimate round of the Dunlop Mini Challenge Mini Miglia class, supported by Mini Spares. The green flag then waved at the back of the grid. Red lights go on. Out they go, away we go, and is it going to be another good start made by Jeff Smith, or is this time Andrew Jordan going to get off the line better? Yes, he does. So Jordan then holding the lead this time into the first corner, and Jeff Smith will slot in behind him. Jordan looked like he skated a little bit wide there. See who had the advantage coming off the corner. Yes, it is still the former BTCC champion. Jeff Smith, of course, former BTCC frontrunner as well in second. And Aaron Smith, not the British Touring Car Championship race winner, Aaron Smith in third, but a very, very strong contender in the Mini Miglia Championship. And he is Jeff Smith's rival for the championship. And they are nose to tail already as they head for the Hanger Straight.
Yeah, Ben Kelburn up in the mix as well. So a nice wide line there from Jordan. This is where they cross the track. And I was party to one of the driver briefings this morning. Generally, I think everybody okay on that point. If they do go over the line, it's not an issue there. different matter on other parts of the circuit as Jordan leads us down. Ben Colburn getting stuck in there at the moment in 4th place.
Yeah, Ben Colburn had a poor start the first time round, but he's right in the thick of it now, isn't he? In 4th place as Jeff Smith almost rattles down the side of Aaron Smith's car. That was pretty robust. They make contact again on the exit of the corner as they bang wheels down through the Vale into the club chicane, and Colburn goes around the outside of both of them. Fantastic from Colburn, who sails into 2nd position. Smith gets the better of Smith, Aaron ahead of Jeff, and now Ian Curley joining in as well. That did not go to plan for the championship leader.
No, it didn't. Nice little swap there, and Colburn read that exceptionally well. So let's see what further he can do. So Jordan from Colburn, and then the 2 Smiths, A Smith, J Smith, followed by Ian Curley, NF Evans. Rupert Death down in 7th, progress to be made there. So watch Owens.
Yeah, Death started 5th, so as on the initial start, lost a bit of ground, I think, in the first few corners. But Ben Colburn, no doubt about it, he's the fastest man on track right now as he closes in on the race leader. Death is starting to make some progress past Kane Astin there. Remember, Kane 3rd in the championship. It's not really been his weekend so far, though, and he's dropping down another position there. That is, I think, 8th now as they head onto the back straight for the 2nd time. So actually that was Astin briefly ahead of Death, and then Rupert Death reclaiming that 7th place as they went into Village. Right, down the hanger straight, Ben Colburn going for the race lead. Colburn to the outside, uses the slipstream, but Andrew Jordan will stand his ground on the inside line. Who has the grip? Who's got the better line through Stowe? It might well be Colburn with the momentum on the outside. No, I've changed my mind. It's Andrew Jordan who holds on to the lead, but only just. Colburn is clearly signalling his intent and wants to try and lead this race, doesn't he?
He does. Now I'm going to be a bit lax here. Has Ben Colburn had a win in the championship yet?
Hold that thought. Ben Colburn, no, he hasn't done a full season either, in fairness. He's had a 2nd place at Cadwell, the race that did happen at Cadwell. I think that's the best he's done. So no wins yet.
And he's a capable driver, so absolutely no. It's a question of when, not if, that Ben Colburn gets the win. Could it be here?
Could well be. He's positioning himself well, isn't he, in the 2nd position in the wheel tracks of Andrew Jordan. Doesn't look to the inside into Village, look, because he knows that the best place to pass here is down the hanger straight into Stowe Corner. No sense in going for a move here that will lose you momentum and probably lead to a loss of positions by the time we get down to Stowe Corner. Through the right-hander they go. The leading 4 starting to get away now, really, from Endaf Owens in 5th, Ian Curley 6th, Rupert Death 7th, and Kane Astin in 8th. Who breaks ranks first, though? Down the back straight. Will it be Colburn? Yes, it is. To the outside. Jordan moves over to cover. That might leave a gap on the inside. No, it doesn't. Jordan sort of squeezes Colburn over onto the wet side of the track, and Jordan will therefore retain the advantage. Aaron Smith, interestingly, not really able to do anything with Colburn either there. So good defensive driving that from Jordan. And the positions, for once, don't change down the back straight.
No, they don't. Colburn still putting in the attack now. Here comes Aaron Smith. I thought Aaron Smith was going to try and do a Maggie Webster down the inside there, but it wasn't to be. Just keeping his tinder dry at the moment. Jeff Smith, fastest lap again. Smith always popping those in when he's not at the front, but he's using it to try and claw his way in, so he'll be picking up a little bit of a tow. NF Owens lights ablaze in 5th, just a little bit further back from Jeff Smith. Then Ian Curley in close proximity, but it's about the lead 4 at the moment as Kane Astin now gets fastest lap. Conditions are changing, improving as they go on. Colburn, I would argue, the busiest driver of this foursome, wanting to chase and defend at the same time. He's a little bit closer to the leader, Andrew Jordan. Andrew Colburn? We could invent a new driver there, couldn't we? I'm sure there'll be one along.
Oh, well, there is another Colburn in the race, remember, down in the Libra class, and that is 2nd place at the moment for Richard Colburn.
Senior Colburn.
Indeed so, but here comes Colburn Jr. going for the lead again to the outside of Jordan, gets his nose ahead, but it's so hard to actually break through into the lead, isn't it? Because Andrew Jordan gets the side draft, then he's late on the brakes into Stowe and manages to go back ahead. So still Andrew Jordan with the lead, Ben Colburn 2nd, Aaron Smith 3rd, and remains status quo as we drop down through the Vale and into the club chicane. Colburn to the inside line. There's no grip there, though, and he loses the back of the car. Amazingly, no contact, but I think Jeff Smith was delayed. Yes, he was. Then he has contact with Curley, and Jeff Smith suddenly losing a whole heap of places as Aaron Smith gets the lead. Explain to me exactly how that happened, Richard. He went into the corner in 3rd, comes out of it with the lead, and about 5 cars between himself and Jeff Smith.
Yeah, absolutely frantic for the lead. The message is from Ben Colburn that he was told that I tipped him to win, so that was the end of that.
Right. Yeah, that'll do it.
Now P2 and fastest lap. Super stuff.
And suddenly NF Owens is in the fight now as well in second place, because just as quickly as I said Smith was leading, Jordan got the advantage back, brought NF Owens with him. Now, where is Jeff Smith? He was 6th at the line, so it could have been worse, but he's losing points that he can ill afford to lose at the moment to Aaron Smith, who at least is down to the bottom step of the podium, sideways there. I think that was Kane Aston, wasn't it? So Jeff Smith gains another place now, back into the top 5. It's changing almost too quickly to keep on track of it, isn't it? But another place gained by Jeff Smith, and he will now try to get back into contention. That wasn't his fault at all. It was Colburn getting sideways, and Smith had to throw the anchor out to avoid running into the back of him. And, well, he now is the one with work to do. He's gone past Ian Curley as well, though. So into 4th position for Jeff, as Aaron Smith slips up the inside, does he, of NF Owens? Yes, the Welshman has to let him go. And Aaron Smith now sets his sights, not for the first time, on Andrew Jordan.
Is he going to be able to get past, though? The one thing that you see Jordan do is, or very rarely, is cede the lead or cede a place, even in this mini racing, which we know is fiercely competitive. But if anyone can do it, it will be Aaron Smith. And Aaron just starts to make the move, comes offline, and you can see how dry it is there. Maybe had a couple of wheels on the damp part of the circuit there, as Curley goes to the outside again. Curley still vying for 5th place with Ben Colburn in the mix as well.
Yep, indeed so. 3 abreast action here. Kane Aston on the inside, Curley in the middle, and that's Phil Bullen-Brown, isn't it, in the fluorescent orange number 5 car on the outside line. Great racing going on here at the front of the field in the Libras, by the way. The Libra class being led pretty comfortably by Hugh Turner in 15th position. 2nd place in the class is Richard Colburn, and 3rd is Josh Evans. That's significant. Josh Evans, the championship leader, remember, in the Libra class. He lost some points to Julian Proctor in the race earlier on. He's ahead of Julian by 6.3 seconds in this one, so looks set to undo the damage from race 1 earlier on today. For the overall race lead, though, it is 3 abreast through Stowe Corner. Aaron Smith on the inside, NF Owens on the outside, Andrew Jordan in the middle. Who is the last of the late breakers? It's all of them, really. Smith backs out of it, and Owens to the lead.
NF Owens goes past Jordan and Smith. Super stuff from him, 3rd to 1st. He will get a lap led on his stats. Not that that will mean a great deal in terms of mini racing, but as soon as the move is done, Jordan is back on the case, and he's got momentum out of that final turn down the Hamilton straight and tees up a return to the lead.
Oh, he's on the wet side of the road, but he goes through, and Aaron Smith wants to go with him. He slides through on the inside line. NF Owens leaves him. He's left just enough room on the outside edge of the road, and Jeff Smith joining in as well. They bang doors. Smith to the outside, and NF Owens will not relinquish 2nd position. This brings Jeff Smith and Ben Colburn back to the party, as Smith crucially gets back ahead of his title rival Aaron Smith. How quickly things can change.
Absolutely mega stuff as ever from the Mini 7 Racing Club. Superb from the Miglias. Ben Colburn is back in the mix as well. Rupert D, distant 6th. Really surprised to see him that far back. At the moment, though, definitely going to come from the top 4. I can't say definitely in mini racing. Probably, definitely coming from the top 5.
Yes, at the moment you would tend to agree with that, but I would say that with some caution with 7 minutes still to go. Through Stowe they come then. It is Jordan who, through all of this, seems to consistently come out with the race lead, doesn't he? He gets shuffled back a bit, then seems able to get his way back to the front of the queue and stay there more effectively than anybody else. The others constantly trading positions. He always seems to lead at this part of the lap, and that's the key, isn't it? You don't need to lead at Abbey or at Stowe. As long as you're in the lead at the line, you will ultimately end up with the race win. Jordan once again leads them across the line, then back out in front with a personal best lap to boot, with NF Owens in 2nd place. Jordan with 2 wheels on the wet curb into Abbey. That's brave.
It is brave. He holds on to it, though, so 2 tenths clear, very nearly 3 tenths clear as they cross the line that time around. Owens still chasing hard. Here is the battle between Kane Aston chasing Rupert Death in the 23. So, when you look down, you've got Colin Peacock in 10th, so really you could pick any one of the top 10ers on a normal day a winner, but the top 5 still go round pretty much in formation.
Yeah, they do. Now, with 5 of them together, a big hole in the air being punched for those towards the back of that lead group. Can Ben Colburn and Aaron Smith take advantage of that, I wonder, as they head down towards Stowe Corner once again. This the 8th lap of the race, 6 minutes still to go. And what order will they emerge in out of Stowe in a moment? Well, it is Jeff Smith in the lead. Who predicted that? From 3rd to 1st, Jordan down to 2nd, Owens 3rd, Aaron Smith 4th, and Ben Colburn still there in 5th position. But Jeff Smith, the championship leader, is on a mission here. He knows a race win here would really help him in the championship with just the 1 race to go. And Aaron Smith suddenly finds himself at the back of the group now, so it's all falling apart for Aaron. He's got time just about to fix the situation, but with Jeff Smith out in front, this is not what Aaron Smith was hoping to see.
Was that bumper askew at the start of the race, or is that a feature of this one?
On Jeff Smith's car,
Yeah.
that was the little collision he had with Ian Curley, I think, down at Club earlier on. So it doesn't seem to be slowing him down, though, does it?
Not at all.
No.
Someone will protest it.
Surely not. Let's not put that idea out into the universe. Good battle going on further back. There's the 1-2-3 car. Hugh Turner leading in the Mini Libra class fairly comfortably, as I've said. Josh Evans is still third ahead of Julian Proctor. And that gap is now 10.5 seconds, so we're not likely to see a change there. But Hugh Turner mixing it with some of the Miglias and running in 17th place overall. So lost a couple of positions since last I checked on him, but he's running well still at the front of his class. We've had Amelia into the pit lane as well, by the way. Mark Cowan showing in the pit lane and potentially pulling in to retire. This battle continues to rumble on out onto the hangar straight. We're into the final 5 minutes of racing now. Still, any one of 5 drivers realistically could claim the race win. Who it's going to be, though, Richard, we've no idea.
Absolutely no idea at all. Any one of the 5, with Aaron Smith in 5th as they crossed the line last time out. Smith, NF Owens now showing at the top of the timing tower. So it's Owens, Smith with the fastest lap, Ben Colburn in 3rd place. Don't write off Colburn just yet, still hungry for that first win. Will he be able to do it?
Well, he's third now, having picked up a place against Andrew Jordan. Remember I was saying a couple of laps ago, Jordan was sort of steadily leading the race, never seemed to get shuffled too far down. Well, he's down to 4th. Well, he was down to 4th. He's now back up to 3rd again, ahead of Colburn, but that might be 5th in a minute, because Colburn's coming back at him and Aaron Smith is there too. So literally changing by the corner here. Jeff Smith to the lead. Endaf Owens led at the line, but Jeff Smith back out in front. So that front bumper damage definitely not slowing him down. He is back out in the win with 3.5 minutes to go, with Owens in 2nd position. Jordan, I think, was 3rd, but that may have changed again by the time they get down to Stowe Corner. Here they come. Yep, Owens to the outside. Can't make it stick, but that little side-by-side racing brings all the others back together. It's going to be a typical Mini Miglia finish, this, I think, isn't it? It will be decided in the final couple of corners. But where do you want to be, Richard? If you've got free choice of which position you want to be in, going onto the hangar straight on the last lap, what are you picking?
P2's always handy.
Yeah, I think so. Or P3.
Or P3. Or 4 or 5. Let's hedge. Let's sit on the fence.
Not in the lead, I think, is the answer.
I'm wondering why the top 2 just don't work together for a couple of laps and try and break the toe and get away from the other 3 and then sort it out. That's what you see in Legends. Mind you, there are a lot more teammates in Legends cars racing, to be honest. And, of course, they have the luxury of being able to bump draft and push each other on most circuits.
Yes, that is true, but I don't know, I always get frustrated with drivers. I have the same thought almost all the time in one-mate racing. They never listen, because when you're in the heat of battle, they just want to overtake each other. They just want to get to the front of the group at all times, and I don't know, it's much easier for us, I think, to take a step back and look at it logically than it is for a driver who is in the heat of battle out on track.
Same with media training, you tell the kids stuff and they just go away and ignore it, you
know. Yes, that does seem to be the case. Right, Andrew Jordan for the lead, 3 abreast. No, there's not quite the space. Endaf Owens is debating the lead with Jeff Smith, and Jordan goes with him. So Jordan up into 2nd position. 2 more laps to go. So the drivers.
My P2 argument, because he was P2.
Yeah.
So we'll see if he's still in front when they get to the line. Andrew Jordan's going to have a say otherwise. What do we reckon?
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, Jeff Smith, meanwhile, is battling Aaron Smith. Remember, that has championship implications. Jordan is sideways in front of Jeff and just manages to gather it all together. But no, you're absolutely right. 2nd place was a good place to be that time. But was Jordan on this occasion quite content to let Endaf Owens go through, because he knows it's not where you are now that matters, it's where you are at the end of the race. Now, I thought I saw an exhaust on the road on the exit of the first corner. I suspect it may have come from Mark Burnett's car, because he's pulling over to retire just a couple of corners later.
All go, isn't it, at the moment? If my P2 theory is correct, we could be seeing Andrew Jordan take the win, but don't discount Jeff Smith, who wants to have a look up the inside. It's too far back. Ben Colburn in 4th place, and just as I was about to say, it's only 4. Still Aaron Smith popping his nose up in 5th place. Colburn getting closer to Jeff Smith. That will take the pressure off P2. Smith coming under pressure, or does it? No, it doesn't. Endaf Owens still there, though.
Yes, he is. Owens was very wide, ducks back into the slipstream, but here comes Jeff Smith. Maybe 3rd place is the place to be. He pulls out early. Colburn goes to the inside, 3 abreast for 2nd position, and Andrew Jordan trying to defend from the wall, 4 abreast for 2nd position. Aaron Smith to the outside. Jeff Smith bails out of it, and Aaron Smith could suddenly find himself ahead of the championship leader. Out of Stowe Corner they go, down into the Vale for the penultimate time, but Andrew Jordan managed to hold on because, Richard, they all fanned out behind him. They all slowed each other down. down, and the race leader going onto the hanger straight is still the leader. Owens is sideways off the nose of Aaron Smith, and Jeff Smith goes through into third place.
Sometimes you just need to be in the right place to squeeze through a misfortune of somebody else, and that has completely changed the complexion of this one. Ben Colburn now is P2. Has he got enough to get past Andrew Jordan on this last tour?
I think so, because the only reason the second place car didn't go through last time is because they ended up side by side with other people. That's not going to happen this time, is it? Ben Colburn has no one in his mirrors. He is free to attack Andrew Jordan, so this could be a fascinating run down the back straight for the last time. We're on the final lap of the race. Jeff Smith is in third position with Aaron Smith fourth. That's good news for Jeff's championship if he can stay there, and Aaron Smith carrying a bit of damage as well. Right then, here we go. This is it. It's go time. Down the hanger straight for the last time, and Ben Colburn surely is going to try and make a move on Andrew Jordan. Jordan pulls to the inside to defend. Colburn looks to the outside, doesn't do it. Looks back to the outside again, tries to get the side draft, which he does. That slows down Andrew Jordan. It pulls Colburn alongside, but he's got to go the long way round now out of the right-hander at Stowe. Is it going to work? No, there's no room. Andrew Jordan hangs on. It's now realistically going to come down to a braking battle into the club chicane. Jordan will defend the inside line. Joe Polly's car expiring on the start-finish straight. That won't bother the leaders, though, who turn through the club chicane for the final time. Andrew Jordan surely now is home free. He's defended this lead impeccably all race long, and he will come through to claim a race victory here at Silverstone. Andrew Jordan the winner, Ben Colburn second, and Jeff Smith, another good result for the championship, in third position, back on the podium again. Aaron Smith comes home in fourth, Endaf Owens in fifth, with Rupert Deeth, Kane Aston, Phil Bullen-Brown, Ian Curley and Ryan Taylor completing the top 10. Colin Peacock, after that scary spin that he had in the first attempt to start the race, will come through in 11th, waiting for the Mini Libra winner to come through. That will be Hugh Turner. Hugh has slipped down into 18th position overall, by the way, but still running well in the lead of his class. He's at the back of that group, I think, isn't he, Hugh Turner? Yes, comes through to claim the Mini Libra class victory, and it will be second place for Josh Evans. Now, that's significant because Josh, remember, lost some points to Julian Proctor, in the race earlier on today, but Josh Evans will come through to claim second, and actually third goes to Richard Colburn. Because Evans got past Colburn there in the closing stages, so Evans will extend his championship lead quite significantly over Julian Proctor. And that's not necessarily the way that we thought that was going to go earlier on in the day. But yes, that is a very, very good drive from Andrew Jordan that we've just seen there. You'd expect nothing less, I suppose, of a former British Touring Car champion. But Andrew with brilliant defence. That's exactly how you're supposed to defend a race lead, because very often if you come over all defensive out in front, you can end up losing yourself places rather than gaining them, but that wasn't the case for Andrew. He held on to it nicely, and he is a race winner here at Silverstone. So, Andrew Jordan victorious in our second Dunlop Mini Challenge supported by Mini Spares Miglia race of the day. Ben Colburn came home in second place and Jeff Smith in third. Aaron Smith fourth, ahead of Endaf Owens, Rupert Deeth, Kane Aston, Phil Bullen-Brown, Ian Curley and Ryan Taylor to complete the top 10. Colin Peacock was 11th, ahead of Jody Lease, Rob Howard and James Cuthbertson. 15th position went the way of Damien Harrington, with Sean King and Gordon Pocock next, with Hugh Turner claiming the win in the Libra class. Josh Evans moved up to second in that class later on. That's significant. It extends his margin now over Julian Proctor in the championship. Richard Colburn came home in second in the class, with Proctor third and Phil Harvey fourth. Sorry, Colburn third, Proctor fourth, Harvey fifth, with Joe Polly in 23rd place overall. And then those who, well, in fact, she didn't reach the flag because her engine blew going on to the final lap. We also lost from that race the number 79 machine of Mark Burnett, 99, which was Mark Cowan, and the 24 for the second time, unfortunately, today of Steve Ewell, and 20, of course, Mark Sims, heavily into the pit wall, bringing about that red flag, but he was absolutely fine. The car was not, but the driver, thankfully, emerged unscathed. So, Mini Miglia's done for the day. In fact, Mini's done for the day. The Sevens will have 2 races tomorrow. The Miglia's will have 1 further race. We've got 2 more races to come today. Next up is the SW Motorsports Club Sport Trophy, a 45-minute pit stop race for the always entertaining Club Sport Trophy. And then we move on to TCR, the TCR UK Championship. Their first race of 3 this weekend, the championship decider for the TCR UK Championship. That will bring the curtain down on day one here of our Silverstone finals weekend. We are running still, I think, about 5 minutes ahead of time as well, which is good news. Right, let's head down then quickly to Parc Ferme to hear from Richard John Neal and our podium finishers.
Welcome down to Victory Lane for the Dunlop Mini Miglia and Libra Challenge, and it's Andrew Jordan who takes the honours. Andrew, we managed to have a quick catch up this morning. Always better to have another one when we come out with a super win. The great thing about mini racing, again, you just never, ever, ever know how it's going to. How do you work out the tactics for a race like that?
Well, before the red flag, my tactic when it was damp and slippy was just to get going. I had a lovely lead, so I was a bit disappointed to see the red flag. But then after that, once I knew it was going to dry up a little bit, I thought that there was no way we were really going to get away. So I didn't want to really lead onto the last lap, but ended up made a mistake onto the back straight on the penultimate lap, and then I saw he'd gone, so I could cover James then in a straight line down, not James, sorry, Ben, down into Stowe. So the side draft's really big on these cars. So someone can pull out of the slipstream, but you can do a lot with your car to slow that down. So it worked okay.
Is P2 the better place to be, or does it depend how many cars there are? Because there were 5 of you in the group for most of the race. Yeah, and obviously the tow from 3rd or 4th is bigger. So once I saw myself and Ben had a little bit of a gap for the last lap, I was quite comfortable then, really. If Jeff had been a bit closer or Endaf had been there, I'd have been a bit concerned about not the car directly behind, but the car behind that. So their car was really nice. It was good, kept me busy. Did you have a look at the Cadwell race as it was, race 1 of the day, and did you watch what was going on there? It was wet then, so yeah, I had a little eye on it, but that was pretty steady in terms of mini racing, so that was a bit more like it. And I think someone had put some fluid down towards the end at Vale, so it was quite slippy, and yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. Nice one, well done, Andrew. We're going to try and got cars on the track, so we'll catch up with the other guys. Let's whiz over and have a quick word with Ben Colburn, who's having a word with Dad. Actually, we've got a Colburn double act here, so I'm going to find out. I always ask people, who's your favourite Colburn? Is it James, Richard or Ben? We've got 2 of them here. These are my 2 favourites. James, I'm only joking. Good podium there in the Libra.
It was indeed, yeah. I should have done a bit better, but I really enjoyed it. It had a really good race. It was slippy to start with, but after that, it was good. Dried out nicely.
Ben, my fault. I was tipping you for the win there. You've still not had it, but you're going to get there.
Yes, I know. We've got one more race tomorrow, so it's got to be that one. It's got to be that one. I mean, I was hounding Jordan that whole race until obviously the little mistake, but I got back through. So it was a great racing, and just hopefully we do one better tomorrow. You
got the pace and the racecraft. It's just how it falls, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you've got to have that little bit of luck in motorsport. I mean, as everyone does. So hopefully that comes my way tomorrow.
Fingers crossed for you. Thanks for chatting, guys. We've got the Club Sport cars out on track. Can I have a quick word with Jeff, who's having a picture? Jeff, we didn't get to talk to you after race 1,
no.
So super job, even with the misfire. All sorted out?
It's still playing up a little bit. It won't pull off the corners quite right. So yeah, it nearly ended in disaster. Ben got it sideways going in the chicane, and I've just caught him as he's slid back across. So we're still there. So we're still leading.
This is just fantastic racing with great drivers.
Yeah, it is, and that's what I love about it. You come to this, and we've got the likes of me and Andy, of very experienced drivers. There's guys been in the club for many years, know all the tricks of minis, so just as quick as us. Lads like Ben that just beaver away at it, and it's so competitive. It's a flip of a coin who's going to win the race. It's crazy, brilliant.
And obviously the championship, we're nearly there.
Nearly there. We've got one step closer, haven't we? I think I need to go and do the points and work out the drops in a minute, and we might be popping champagne. I don't know yet.
Fingers crossed. We'll see you tomorrow either way. Thanks very much, Jeff Smith. Thank you very much for having a quick word. Very quick. I think we're going to grab Hugh Turner. Is Hugh there? Hugh Turner? Hugh, nice to meet you. Congratulations, Libra win, well done.
Yeah, it's first one of the year, so long time coming, but last round of the season, fantastic. So yeah, really happy.
That's excellent. I've got to be quick because we've got the Club Sport cars on track, but super job, and you seem to be pretty well clear.
Yeah, I think down Hanger Street, the power of the car helped, and I picked up some Miglias and got the slipstream, which just really pulled me along. So yeah, lucky.
And all good for tomorrow?
All good for tomorrow, yeah.
Nice one, Hugh. Many congratulations.
Thank you.
Well done. Thanks ever so much. Club Sport time now. I think we're going to try and find out who's starting the 2 driver cars. But in just a few moments, we'll be up to Andy.